Welcome to another introduction course with the beautiful teaching team Gaitana and Yantal. This is Follow the Mystical Path, and we are here to learn a little bit more about this magical journey. Hi, Gaitana, welcome.
Hi, Lauren. How are you doing today?
Awesome, thank you. We're excited for this. This is really going to teach us how to trust our purpose, our destiny, and our mission. So this is an introduction to a larger course that you're offering. And so we'll let you just begin and open with why this is so important at this time.
Yeah. So you know that there are so many shifts going on a planetary level, collective level, individual level. And so we're in a moment when we have to trust movement. We have to trust how things are unfolding and allow form to evolve. That's how we are going to ascend. Form meaning the physical body, our material existence, okay, everything. So we consider ourselves to be mystics, and we know that many souls are remembering that they are also following a mystical path. This just means that we are not the scientific type per se. A mystic is one who surrenders to the mysteries and the power of heaven and earth. And we discover everything through self-revelation, which requires a deep level of surrender and self-trust, okay? And we find that at least people attracted to us, they are also mystical, and they are meant to maybe reconcile with their inner wisdom and trust their inner soul power, because we're not getting things from outside of ourselves. And this requires a deep communion with God, with the earth, with our soul. And to understand that right now we need to have a deeper connection with earth itself, with life, and to understand the sacredness of creation. Because when we are disconnected, what happens is that we feel that people are things and the earth is a thing or an object. We don't see life in people or the earth, okay? We objectify reality a lot. But when we start having this sacred connection with life itself, with creation, with divine creation, we start seeing the divine imprint in every body. And that's beautiful. That changes everything, because you start reanimating your body from the inside out, and that changes. So as we expand our consciousness and we have this deeper connection with our own wisdom, what we have discovered, and this is our experience also, is that many way showers, healers, light bearers, they are being called to or guided to move or to connect with specific energy vortices to raise the collective consciousness of that specific area and to activate new points of the earth grid. So this means that this can be a vibrational and or a physical shift. Meaning, you are up-leveling your service frequency or role, and so you're relocated to a new place on the grid, or you telepathically connect with a new place on the grid because there are certain soul codes that you have to retrieve from that place, and you can do that telepathically through teleportation. You don't have to go there physically. And for some people, it's just transitioning from the 3D to the 5D, which is a new inner place, okay? But whether relocation is something physical or vibrational, it means that we are holding another frequency. And that new place, internal and or external, will mirror or express our own evolution. But there tends to be a process of integration that is required, because it's like you lose all your points of reference. It's a new place, actually. There can be a new language, new customs, you know, if it's a physical place, you may have to leave behind many things. And even if it's a vibrational place that you're reaching, it's all different. You're being called to serve in another way, to show up in another way, sometimes to eat, to dress, to communicate, to behave in other ways. So this can be a little bit challenging, we have found, for many people. So today we would love to share what is really involved in this shift to turn what could be triggers into initiations. So we're not being triggered in this process, we're just being initiated into more of the light that we are. And there's a process of allowance, of allowing this to happen as we activate more leadership skills. And why do we need leadership skills? Because leadership is connected to the actions that we need to take towards individual and collective realization. It's all the preparation to embrace love, truth, and to be in complete alignment with the divine will. That requires leadership, okay? Not to get scared, to face our initiations, to face our deepest fears, to be willing to embody our potential, to understand what's going on, okay? But whether, again, it's vibrational or physical, we are all moving right now, constantly, okay? But now it's becoming more and more evident.
Yes, it's really interesting because this is perhaps one of the most asked questions outside of what's my purpose, is the question, I'm sensing a relocation. Should I move here? Should I go there? But you're saying we could do it telepathically as well. So
Awesome.
how would one know? Because there would be a little bit of trepidation moving forward like that, because we are comfortable where we are. So how would one come to identify or be emboldened to take those steps of great change, whether it's telepathically or physically?
So we'll share a lot around this, but basically I would say that when it coincides that it is both internal and external, there is kind of this magnetic force pulling you in that direction and you cannot say no. The force, the magnetism is so strong that you have the spiritual power to transcend any ancestral fear and move in that direction. If that's what your soul requires. If you're not ready for that external shift, it's maybe you stay where you are, your consciousness is expanding, and you might be being called to connect with certain points in the grid, which can be sacred places, but there are new vortices that are now calling us to serve and to live and to create there. And that's why we want to bring this conversation to your show, because many people are focused on the traditional sites, the ones that we all know, which could be, for example, the pyramids in Egypt. It's very popular right now. In our case, and this is where we are right now in this vortex where you see behind us, this is one of the sites that we would call non-traditional, in the sense that here there is no external evidence of the miraculous spirit of the land. There are no physical temples. There's no spiritual tradition per se. So the land called us, and we chose this land. It was like a soul contract we had with the land, and our light body was really redirected to this place. But there was no external evidence of anything you would associate with spirituality or ascension. So that's why we bring this conversation, because for those who are being called, well, you're in Costa Rica, it's another vortex that it's kind of newer, and you wouldn't have any cues to say, okay, why am I coming here of all places, right? Seems to be gorgeous land, it's heaven and earth actually, but there are no temples or spiritual tradition. So sometimes we don't understand, unless we have a deep connection, why we are being relocated to these new vortices. And this is happening for a purpose, okay? So in that case, again, we have to already have a very strong connection with ourselves, with spirit, with Mother Earth, and we can identify those vortices just by feeling the power of the earth. When we came here for the first time, now it's been many years that we are here, but the cells in our body recognize the place. It was like a remembrance, like home, coming back home. And so it was an internal revelation or an internal recognition that there was medicine for us here. We had a mission purpose here. This was our destiny. This is homeland for us. And actually, it's a culture that you could say has nothing to do with our homeland, with our country of origin, right? Even the population here is Black. We are in the Dominican Republic, so it's different people, different culture, and it's our family. Like, it's as if we have been born here in a way. We absolutely love our collective family here and the land and everything. So that can be going on for many souls of this new wave of enlightenment and these new teachers, world teachers, that you're being sent through your light body activation to a place which might make no sense at the beginning, but it's where you can serve the collective. You have the codes in your light body to serve the collective of souls in that place. Okay, so you are the one for that community.
Yes, okay. It's very fascinating because we've heard from someone who decades ago channeled the Golden Taya, which is a prophetic information from Master Teacher Toth about the great shift that's underway. And it's actually in these times. And actually, the lady who channeled it, Maya Nortumid, actually has said that we have been giving a dispensation. And so because of our collective consciousness, the timeline has shifted and we have given maybe 100 more years to do this. But in a nutshell, she's saying exactly, or what she channeled or scribed was exactly what you're saying, is that there's locations on our planet that are calling people, that are up leveling in vibration, that are shifting. So how would one recognize? I mean, now my head is trying to get too much into it, and maybe that's an indicator that we shouldn't be too much in the head, because I'll share in my own story as well. You know, moving to a new country, it happened in great flow. It happened very quickly. As soon as we decided that's what felt right, then all the doors opened, so to speak, and it happened very rapidly. And it is quite different. And there's still times where it's like kind of funky, but it's interesting because this place is not one of the places that would be recognized as a Golden Taya place, but it's limitless, the areas of these vortices. Yeah. So can we create a vortex, or how would we begin to recognize an energetic vortex to go to?
So first of all, thank you for the confirmation. I'm not familiar with this channeler, but I already love her. So thank you for that. It makes total sense for us. In our case, I think it's a very, in a way, feminine process, in the sense that we just can't go and plant the flag like, we are opening a vortex here, you know? It's not coming from that masculine approach of, we are making this a vortex. It's more a calling. You're invited. It's a sacred invitation to that land. Also understanding that all the land is sacred. So I really want to bring this message that it's not only the 13 or 14 or 20 sacred sites that we all know about. All the land is sacred. So what a blessing, I would say, is that we are unlocking these new vortices, because we are the mystics. We are the ones that just surrender to the flow and say, okay, I'm going there. At least in our experience, it has been an invitation. It happens, I would say, intuitively, once you open your heart. It's something that you cannot process mentally. You can never find your purpose, mission, destiny mentally. There has to be a certain level of heart awakening and trust and surrender, because it's a big shift. It's no joke, changing places, whether it's vibrational or physical, right? You know, in your own case, it requires a lot of detachment, starting over, reorganization, like the legal thing, like on all levels, you know? It's not just moving and the enthusiasm about, I'm going to, you know, the new earth. It requires a big shift behind that. So I would say it's a very feminine call to co-create with the earth, that place in the grid has the same codes that you hold on a soul level, so it's compatible. You match the earth vibration in that place, and you're being called by the Divine Mother, if you will, or by Father, Mother, God, to be in that place in particular. So in a nutshell, I would say you are invited. It's a sacred invitation. Your heart needs to be open, and you have to be ready to detach from the old timeline and say yes.
Yes, okay. It's bold. I think many people are ready. And so thank you for sharing on this. And also, I think it's important to say, if people don't know physically where they want to go, that again, the key element is telepathically, that's very powerful as well. And so, yes, it's a calling by the Divine Mother. I absolutely love that, with our heart wide open, but be ready for it. So,
yeah, and at the same time, if you're not being called, that's it. I mean, you're not being called. Don't try to force the movement or say, I should be going somewhere. Like, this happens spontaneously. Yeah.
yes, it's spontaneous. So I want to share another quick little anecdote story, because this shift for us happened in 2020. And so we were, and we all know what happened in 2020 and then after. And so for me, I was taking a road trip with my husband, and we saw crows on the road. Before I even left our house, in front of my office window, many crows flew by, and I noticed. And then in the car, as we were driving, I think it was a 6 or 7 hour drive, crows were flying. At one point, they were flying alongside the car window next to us, and it caught my attention. And then I tuned into the message that I was receiving, and it was, stay in your heart, stay in the heart. And I remember, and then I began to see the pattern of, every time I would be in my head beginning to worry, thinking about the collective, these crows would appear. And so it was during that trip, keeping the heart open, remembering to keep the heart open, that returning from that trip, I heard a call, a voice in my head that said, connect with your sister. So I called my sister, and that connection opened up this great shift in my life. And that is testimony to staying in the heart. And even on my desk here is a note that I encourage everyone to put on a sticky note: keep your heart open and in charge. So that could sometimes be a task. And so in today's introduction course, we're also going to do a chakra activation. We have to clear ourselves from denser energies that keep us locked in holding patterns, right?
Yeah. Yes, because as I was saying before, every point in the grid holds a different frequency. So if you're being upgraded and relocated to a different place, you have to hold that vibration. Otherwise, you would either go back to the previous place, or you would not have a good time there. And by the way, when you say we need to stay in the heart, yes, because it's the Divine Mother can only speak to your heart. It's a place of communication, right? So the earth will call you to serve. Another thing to understand is we are not being called to go on holiday somewhere else, or to just go to, in our case, to the beach and to a house beach, you know. We're being called to serve Gaia, to serve the light. So it's important to stay in the heart, because it's a place of non-fear. And it's not only the heart, it's actually all our pillar of light. Because when we hold on to fear, there's a lot of ancestral blockages. And if you are afraid of moving into your own place and own your own journey, you will tend to be loyal to the ancestral lineage. And the ancestral lineage is about tradition, orthodox life. You have to stay here, get married, have children, go to university, okay? The ancestral lineage cannot see beyond current reality. And so when you're in your heart, you kind of are beyond that ancestral fear and ancestral expectations. And you're just authentic, and you can receive authentic messages. But if we hold on to fear, we can't listen. Have you noticed that when we are in fear, we don't listen? because we also project onto the earth or divinity that they will tell us something against us, or that can hurt us, or that is uncomfortable. So this requires a deep level of surrender, that it's in your benefit, it's a benevolent movement, it's out of love. You're evolving, you're being carried to your next place, you know, which for most of us tends to be heaven, our inner heaven that then we materialize externally. And you have to deserve that also, and be in alignment with that to stay there and not run away from this new place.
Yes, and I like how you said that it's not leaving, it's not a vacation from the world, it's actually stepping up into service. And again, in my situation, there is something on the land here near us that is kind of not fun. It's noisy, it's dirty, it's not kind to the river and Gaia herself. But I do see the bigger picture, and I do see why all of us are here, and each of us are playing a part, and it is in service to Gaia. Even though it's hard and it's a challenge for me to stay in my heart as well and not to project out. So for me, that's also transformational. So no, it's not easy. Staying in the heart makes it easier, but it's also seeing how a situation like that can take me out of the heart. So you mentioned earlier, turning our triggers into initiations. And so that is what happens. If we can see that that is an initiation, how can this best benefit me, is the question that I ask. And so it makes me closer to the land. It makes me stay in my heart more. It makes me still wave at the humans that are at the facility, that the corporation, the seemingly, bad corporation, because it's a perspective. And so I get that. It's hard to articulate, but I do get it. And so that is the service work. So as light workers and way showers are going all around the world, this is the light work that we're doing. And isn't it amazing that light workers are reincarnating? Perhaps we were all at one time in a tribe together, Lemuria, Atlantis, beyond, at Egypt. And now we're all around the world because we are incarnating around the world, perhaps as acupuncture points for Gaia, but then also to reconnect. And thank goodness we have technology like this to help us all reconnect.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, because we are awakening the complete Earth grid or matrix. So we cannot be all in one place for that. Yeah. And I received this message many, many years ago. The Ascended Master said, all the resources will tend to go to the energy masters right now. Because whether you call yourself a master, a guide, a facilitator, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But it's those who are in integrity, okay? Because we are the ones who know how to share, how to be generous. We understand the purpose of what we are doing. It's not selfish, it's not to be more popular, it's not for the ego. So when we are triggered in these movements, it's because the personality is uncomforted and not wanting to let go of certain systems or structures. Some people, we notice that they wouldn't even move countries because there's not that restaurant they go to, or the coffee shop, or the library, like silly things sometimes, And that's the personality that says, I need this to survive. I need this for my pleasure and comfort, okay? But you turn it into an initiation when you even go to the extent of remembering that you have the honor to be activating a vortex. It's you with a big community around you, okay? But you are the source of that. And that's an honor, actually. Yes. And to not even want to go to the traditional places, which are obvious, and everybody wants to go there. But say, I'm one of those souls who is being guided to this new acupuncture point. I also use that word, so I love that. In full surrender to the light and to the land. And you start getting so much support, even from the land. When very shortly, we also came here in 2020, September, in the middle of, you know what, the global situation. We didn't really believe in that or participate in that. But the only flight that opened to come here was on September the 24th. That's the commemoration of the patron of this land, which is the Lady of Mercy. So the only flight, the day we came here definitely to the Dominican Republic, is the day of the Virgin, the patron of this land. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, so it was like a big yes, like, yeah, I open, you know, my heart and arms and body to you, and vice versa. So it's actually beautiful.
Wow, that is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So for those who are listening and wanting to be in service, you mentioned an energy vortex, creating this energy vortex in service. Can you tell us more on how to do that?
Yeah. So if you're being called to a new density of consciousness or an actual physical place, I would say first go there, check it out, or connect with that virtually, and you will start receiving the downloads or uploads from the earth, and you will be guided. So it's a process of full surrender, where you don't come with your big ideas about how you can save the land or anything. The land needs no saving. We need saving, human beings. So it's just an honor to be co-creating with the earth. You start making that connection, maybe sitting on the land or having the visual activation with the land, and you start receiving guidance, messages. We did many planetary activations here, or grid work. We brought groups of people here also, and we did many retreats. So first of all, make that connection, get more messages, get more clear around the level of involvement that you're required to have. For us, we came many times before actually moving here, definitely. So you might be called to travel to the land and to do some activity, spiritual activity there, before you have the honor to be invited to stay there, and you're welcomed forever there. So it depends, right? But we want to share, I think this will be very clarifying, because we received the 7 attunements that need to take place. And don't take this for granted, like all this has to happen in this way, but just summarizing the process that we also went through. So can we comment on that, Lauren, because we did that before this interview? So let's take this as an activation in itself, because as I describe this and share this, it will already be shifting something on a soul level. So to be in full alignment, to allow this shift, to trust movement and our new destiny, there are 7 main attunements that need to happen. The first one, we call it divine alignment. So it's true connection, understanding that we are not serving the personality or the ego, we are serving the soul. And you can only respond to this from a soul level. Yeah, because the personality will resist, will protect itself against the change. The personality does not like change. It's afraid of change, okay? So only if you have a true connection, you're fully aligned, can you say yes and go with the flow, okay? So divine alignment, and that's why we do the chakra attunement, for example. That needs to happen first, because we are like an antenna of consciousness, of energy, and we are always attracting and transmitting frequency. So let's suppose that this antenna, instead of being straight, and we call this the pillar of light, the antenna is like this, okay? So you're, of course, attracting different frequencies, but you're not in alignment with love, truth, with Father, Mother, God. So the more, let's say, inclined, tilted that antenna is, you start listening to belief system, subjective ideas, ancestral fear, etc. So most antennas are kind of like this. Even for many people, when they think about the chakras, they activate their chakras horizontally. I would recommend that you verticalize the chakras, okay? You need to become this pillar of light, because you want to receive frequency, energy messages, revelations straight from source and straight from earth, okay? So it's very important not to be like this right now. We have to be like this. And so the further off we are from the central power column, the more distorted we are, the more disconnected we are from love truth. So divine alignment has to come first. So that we activate the pillar of light, or we do the cosmic attunement with the 13 chakras. Once that takes place, and it's amazing how many people we heard say, oh, I thought I had cleared my chakras and they were already clean and upgraded and everything. And they do the practices and they say, oh my God, there was so much in it still, okay? So this is like a daily shower. Like we don't say, I had a shower last week, I'm not having a shower this week. With a chakra clearing and upgrade, it's every single day, every single day. Yes, this is spiritual hygiene we are talking about. So it's super important. Second alignment is what we call the divine union. I know that we have been talking forever about the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and everything, but really, we have to feel truly supported from within, especially if you're being relocated. Your divine feminine that holds a vision and the divine masculine that creates a safe container to make these new decisions have to be in place, okay? So there has to be balance, a deeper balance between the feminine and the masculine. And this is forever, because depending on what we are being asked to realize or materialize or step into, that masculine and feminine have to step into higher roles, yeah? So it's the same with the chakras. We say, well, my feminine, my masculine are quite okay. They are in communication, they are stable. Okay, keep on going, okay? Because the upgrades are infinite and they are very much connected to your mission. You need a very strong energy if you have a big mission, okay? And we all do. We all have a big mission to realize. The third attunement would be a divine alliance, new allies. So most of us are changing our teams of light. So if you feel that you have been serving with one ascended master or a collective of light beings or a council, you might be at the point where there are new beings wanting to come into your consciousness and field. Again, because of the new move you have to step into, you require more energy and different frequencies. And I feel that many people are attached and say, I've been guided by Jesus forever. I don't want to leave Jesus, you know? Okay, that has been integrated, okay? Now open your heart to more beings, because for the next step, you need newer frequencies. So most of us, we are changing our team of light right now. And we need new allies on those realms. Human realm, we are, most of us at the point of reuniting our collective soul, yes? We can call that light family or light community on a very deep level to realize these big missions that we have. The elementals, the crystals, the animal kingdom, plant kingdom, it's new alliance with everything, okay? So don't feel shy to change your team or say, oh my God, I feel that I'm not honoring my previous team or ascended masters I've been co-creating reality with. It's okay, it's part of the upgrade. Next attunement is divine role. Understanding that you are stepping into a higher service role, accepting those new gifts and opportunities and responsibilities that come with the role. And for most of us, we are serving the Buddha Christ, okay? It's really a type of Christ or divine service. And this changes the technology that we have to integrate, the soul aspects that we have to reactivate within. So surrendering, accepting, honoring this new role is very important. If there's resistance around that, there's a clearing needed, okay? Then there's divine empowerment. So really trusting and surrender the divine will. And we know how we have our small agendas and we want to do something else or we want to do things our own way. But we need a lot of wisdom, okay, to be participating in these high vibe realities. So we need to co-create with divinity. We need to understand the cosmic plan. There's a lot of wisdom involved here. The other one is divine surrender. So trusting your purpose, trusting your destiny, trusting your mission, trusting your gifts, knowing that you are equipped to do whatever you're being called to do, okay? And so most of us are leading from the unknown, and that's what a mystic is. You don't have to know everything to say yes to a move, okay? You don't know you don't have to understand everything to move to another country. You just take that initial step, you surrender, and then you will be guided from there, okay? And the last one is the divine blueprint. So it's all guiding us in that direction anyway. The divine blueprint means that we are willing to clear old records and embrace our original design, which in terms of Mother Mary would be the Immaculate Concept. When we get to that point, when we resurrect our divine blueprint, we remember our origin, our essence, our purpose, destiny, and mission. We start creating impeccable realities. Yeah, because reality can only mirror the level of self-inquiry you have surrendered to. So in other words, the more that you know yourself, the more that you have remembered within, the more you can manifest that in physical reality. Yeah. So we have to remember our original design. What is it that our soul came to experience, live as a legacy, realize individually and collectively? And when we remember all that, we have kind of the master code and the master plans. Is we are the divine architect saying, oh, it's here, it's this community, this type of service, this message, these teachings, okay? But we have to access that before we can actually materialize that out there. Yeah. So in other words, the land will call you when you have remembered enough. And then she will give you more.
So just trust and listen to the heart and just be very present. Yeah. Trust that we are being guided. And again, the operative word is on the feminine principle, not to force anything, but just to be in the heart. And thank you for those beautiful divine alignments, those tips. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So 7 main alignments. And sometimes that happens when there is resistance to change vibration. We are talking about changing vibration, really. It doesn't matter if it's a physical place or not that you're being relocated to. But there's resistance when we are attached to certain systems or structures or ways of doing things. And again, for some people, it can be like, I have coffee on this corner of my town every single morning. I wouldn't leave that, you know? It's like, it can be like that. Or so, and many people still think, and it's okay, it's part of the conditioning, that we need culture to prosper. And this speaks to these new vortices. Like many people saying, if I'm in a type of society where it's very advanced and we have like the cinema and the theater and the newspaper and the media and this and that, all this structure is supporting me. And it's the illusion of evolution. Yeah. But to prosper, we need spiritual connection. So for us, this is where we live. We are in a place where there is practically nothing outside. Like of course, there's restaurants, but there's no theater, there's no cinema, there's no big structure really, okay? It's a fisherman's town. They had electricity here for the first time in 1994. It's a very beautiful, beautiful place. There was no route or connection with the capital city, Santo Domingo, till a few decades ago, you know? So, but we understood as we came here that all that we thought that we needed to prosper and thrive was actually the illusion. And now we are here. And what have we got here? Connection. True connection. We've got the stars, we've got the earth, a beautiful vortex, palm trees, you know, beautiful seas. And really, that's all that we need. It's the direct access to timeless wisdom. It's all that we need. So I would say on the flip side, it's like if you're resistant to moving to a place that is very natural and there doesn't seem to be a lot of structure around the place, that's actually helpful because you have no distraction. You have to go in. You have to channel. You have to feel the wisdom inside. Yeah, you can't consume so much. So it's an invitation to go in, to know that there's this richness, there's a pearl in you, okay? But but you will be invited to go to these places where there's nothing but the mission.
Yeah.
I
I
have
totally
space,
agree.
actually, like.
Mhm. Yes, yes, I feel that as well. And you know, it's a complete 180 for me as well, but I actually thrive on it. I thrive on the differentness. There are no restaurant. I mean, the restaurants are half an hour, 40 minutes away. So that's an hour just to drive, you know, so so that has changed, right? So the diet for me has changed, and I consider this like a soul leap, what I did. Everything has changed. Everything has changed for me. And at times it's like, what, when this is what I refer to as the war between my head and my heart. At times I'm like, what in the world are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And that's my head running off with the story. Whereas it feels so good. I'm happy, people are happy, and that's the key. And so this is what we mean by new earth is within us. New earth is a vibration. So
Yes.
you're calling on folks to shift their vibration, either physically or telepathically by this process.
Yeah, and to understand that you are the temple, you are the light. Yes, we no longer have to go like to the pyramids, and again, it's an external temple, and they are gorgeous, of course, but like, are you ready to understand that you are the light in the world, and you are taking that light to that place, and you need nothing for that? So what you're describing, and it's very common, is this head and heart pull and push situation, or tension or friction.
Yeah.
Really, because there's the belief that we need more than we actually need. And this is a path of constant surrender and simplification. The more you simplify your life, the deeper the connection is. And there's nothing wrong with going to a restaurant or having fun. I'm not saying that, but that cannot be like 24/7. Okay. So here, yes, we don't have shopping malls, we don't have cinemas, we don't have, like it's the land. And so most of us, we say, I want to ascend, I want to get enlightened. Okay, so you need God connection. That's all you need, really. And then you start creating a web of light around you, of others in resonance with that. That are also what you're experiencing. What you described is the matrix crumbling from the inside out.
Yes.
That's what's happening. But if we are attached to that and say, but I need that, you attached, you create attachment. But if you allow all the illusion to fall apart, then you find God. And that's the whole purpose of this incarnation, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. Okay, you are inspiring people on this great movement to trust in the movement, however form or whatever form that takes in individual lives.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. It's exciting. And it's no longer stale. It's fresh. It's fresh. Fresh.
And what we also discovered is that, for example, being in this vortex, exactly here, there's a very balanced vortex of energy. It's both masculine and feminine. So it's very, very quantum vortex. After many years of being here, we discovered also that we are being called to be the voice, the consciousness, and the body of the vortex. Like, you truly become one. You're kind of the messenger, the representative, the spokesperson for this vortex. And it's starting this symbiotic co-creation with Earth as one. It's super sacred and powerful. It's an honor. Yeah. There's no more separation even with Gaia. And you will also remember that there are certain codes that your soul is embodying, that the land is embodying, and that they have to go global now from this place. Yes. But you needed this time of reconciliation with this part of you, because this land is a part of us that we see externally, but it's a mirror of what we have displayed in our own consciousness. So there's a process of familiarizing yourself with this, because this was hidden in our soul till we activated those codes, and hey, voila, this is the beauty that was in my soul. And it takes a little bit of getting familiarized with all the beauty that was inside, saying, do I deserve this? Is this me actually? I'm this place, you know? So this is the process of reconciliation. And then you become the voice, the consciousness, and the body of the vortex. And you start creating as one. Yeah. You're the kind of the avatar for this part of the land.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. Thank you. So your upcoming course, it's a personal session and a course that's available for immediate download so people can home study and interact with that. We'll have you talk about that in a moment. Do you want to do a process for us, or the chakra attunement, a mini chakra attunement or clearing?
Yeah. So the 13 chakra attunement is part of the course. We will speak about that in a few minutes. So I feel very well for those listening today to do a first chakra clearing and upgrade. Because when we start crystallizing, by crystallizing means turning crystalline, right? When we start crystallizing the first chakra, which seems to be the point of separation for everybody, everything then starts accelerating. But there seems to be the main blockage there in that first chakra. And this is very, very relevant because even in Kabbalah, that lower chakra is really in the feet, right? Or in the first chakra, but that lower part of the body, which in Kabbalah is called Malkut. Malkut is the kingdom, and its connection with the earth, and really the embodiment of as above, so below. So most of us, and this has been an initiation for us as well, we were very heaven oriented, if you will, like receiving downloads from Father God, from heaven to earth. But we didn't give much relevance. We had a strong connection with the earth, but we didn't really give a lot of relevance to the Mother Earth teachings, to the earth, the inner earth council, etc. So when I started working with the tree of life inside and awakening that inner technology, of all the Sephirot in the tree of life in Kabbalah, Malkut, the kingdom, was the one that called my attention. And it's opened the gate of the kingdom, which is communication with Mother Earth. If that is blocked, you cannot bring heaven to earth. So you start receiving the downloads, but it just blocks it. The download blocks itself in the first chakra. And that's why many people say, I can dream about things and have visions, but I cannot manifest. Yeah, because that first chakra is super blocked. Because we despise the earth, we think that matter is not important. We have to reconcile with matter, okay, to fully manifest our purpose mission. So let's go there. I invite all of you to take a deep breath. And yes, you can imagine this pillar of light, this power column that's invisible to the human eyes, that is either surrounding your spine or your whole body as a column of light. So you inhale, exhale. Inside this power column are the 7 main chakras. But invite this power column to touch also, extend to the crystalline core of the earth and to the central sun. So you will be touching the 13 chakras that we call cosmic attunement. Just by inhaling, exhaling through this pillar of light. And now let's focus our attention on the first chakra at the base of the spine. That is a chakra that we connect with prosperity consciousness. To prosper means to evolve, to grow, to expand, to thrive. And to prosper means to create abundance, to attract all the relevant resources that you need to fulfill your purpose mission. So you will start clearing any blockages to prosperity. If you have judgment around money, resources, physical matter that is not so relevant or not so important, or it's secondary to Father God, Matter, mother is as important as father. We have to embody Father, Mother, God consciousness. So as you concentrate on your first chakra very lovingly, it's not about judging anything, just witness whatever has been programmed there. If there's a resistance, welcome that. It's an initiation. If there's potential activating, bless that. So I'm just activating a seal remotely, telepathically in that chakra for everybody. It's the seal of love, truth, of impeccability, full alignment with Father, Mother, God. Unblocking that energy center. And when we crystallize our energy system from the base up, we can release limiting desires that crave for adrenaline or adventure. For many people, that is true connection with the earth, and that's not true connection, actually. That's what the illusion of feeling alive or connected with earth, but it's external connection. So let's neutralize all those distortive patterns of unreal connection with earth, so that we find the true connection through the base of our spine. And we start resonating with more harmonious experiences, intimate, lasting connection with the earth. Not so much adventure, seeking adventure as a way of connecting to earth, but this is intimate connection, intimate conversation with Gaia. And you may want to connect with the elementals right now and merge with the web of life. So imagine that inside the earth, we call that inner earth, there's a web of life. And you make this conscious connection with that web of light to receive medicine, to receive guidance, to receive wisdom. You can connect with the Inner Earth Council and with the Earth Elders, who are the code keepers of all that we are remembering now. And you start feeling this symbiotic relationship with the earth. More respect, but at a deeper level. So it's beyond if we are trashing the earth, it's beyond those conversations even. It's another level of respect. We have a mission together. We have a contract together. Let's honor that contract. So let's sit with the earth as we surrender to remember. So you can repeat this mantra, I surrender to remember. Surrender means stop thinking. Let go of your small ideas, of this distorted way of cooperating with the earth, where it's, I want to impose this on the earth, this is the solution, and it's all mental. It's not beneficial. It's superficial, actually. So I surrender to remember. I surrender my belief system, my petty ideas. And I deeply listen to the heart of the earth. What do you need? How can we co-create together? What's the next individual, collective, planetary move? How can ascension happen? And all that wisdom, all that inspiration, all those solutions are now coming from this web of light, this web of life from inner earth. This has all been preserved for this golden age so that we can fulfill all the prophecies of the golden age. So we all have access to this wisdom, to the master plans, to remember how to co-create heaven on earth, or the 5D, or the golden civilization. And it's all of us together. Though we are in different vortices, we are all one. We just have to shine the light in that vortex, but they're all connecting as we do that. We are clearing the grid, and we all have our responsibilities in the grid. And when we can take our physical body to that vortex, that becomes very powerful. I surrender to remember. We cannot remember if we're running from one place to the other, if we are imposing our own ideas on Gaia, if we are not humble enough to co-create in a sovereign way. So we surrender. We create a pause in our reality to create sacred space to remember our spiritual contract. And as you remember within, external reality will mirror that level of connection. So the external reality will reveal exactly what you're remembering within. So you don't have to go find any place. The place will find you as you go deep, as you unlock, activate those codes within. I surrender to remember. And we can take a deep breath. Know that the shift is already happening for all those listening. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
That connection is divine and exquisite. And I truly hope that everyone is feeling that and able to feel it always. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine, for holding space for this.
Really powerful, very inspiring. And I can feel others sensing this movement as well. But again, I want to say, I can also feel the headiness of it, of people getting into the head. And so staying patient with all of it, very patient, and receiving, connecting with Divine Mother to receive, connecting with Gaia to receive that next mission statement, plan of action.
But when you truly surrender to remember, and there's one leader in our community who has done this course we are introducing now, and she's going through the process. She felt this frequency of, we called it sacred acceleration. So when we really surrender, things go pretty fast. Because we're not blocking or interfering with the process, you know?
Surrender and being curious too.
Yeah.
Recognizing that we don't have the answer.
Yeah.
So be curious and watch what happens.
Yeah.
Asking those questions
from the innocence of the heart. It's the inner child. Remembering and having fun and saying, yes, I'm going to do this, you know? It's coming from joy, from innocence, from the purity of heart.
Joy, operative word there. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. The threads of joy, following the joy.
Yeah.
And tuning in and connecting. What a beautiful process. Every course that you and Yantal offer is so exquisite and precious. And this one is available for immediate download. And you mentioned someone who just went through it because it is very effective. It's beautiful.
Oh my God, this one is miraculous. It's called Master Divine Precipitation. We're actually halfway because we initiated the live program in April. So it's 8 sessions. We are on session number 4. So for the ones joining us, you have both benefits. You have the recordings, and we'll have all the recordings by the end of May. And or you can join us live for the last half of the program and have the live activations and Q&A, etc. So in all, there will be 8 recorded group sessions with supplementary materials. We are opening there the Earth Gate and Stargate. We are bringing in the frequency of Mary Magdalene and connecting with a very particular star system that is Hydra. Hydra is the water snake. It's 13 main stars in the sky. They look like a snake. I think it's the biggest constellation, and it's very much connected with the Mary Magdalene frequencies and clearing collective wounds, ancestral fragmentation. It's very beautiful, and we are activating 6 pillars of light in our consciousness and around our body, so that we can surrender to remember. Because the process of surrendering is letting go of control. It's not very comfortable for the ego, we know that. So before we go to inner earth, and we create these roots of solid connection with the earth, we have to clear any disconnection with earth or with the womb, okay? So there are many birth issues being cleared, many body issues. We go through all the systems of the body to also ascend and actualize the physical body. And as we activate all the pillars, we receive divine gifts. We receive the gift of alchemical healing, prophecy, creative expression, the gift of method, instantaneity, and prosperity. Don't we all want that? And this is happening in a quantum way, of course, participating, very soft, very healing, very connected. And so that's the group offer. It's option number 1. And then for those wanting more private time and space with us, we also have a private session or activation really that we call a 12D reset. So we go deep there, clearing the 12 dimensions, the 13 chakras. We resurrect our divine blueprint. We clear personal records, ancestral records, planetary records, and genetic records across all space, time, and realities. So it's really a reset. And we are there looking to reactivate our original light codes, our soul light, true ascension keys, and divine potential. That's what we need to thrive, okay? It's like a very complete attunement. And if you do both, it's super recommendable. You have the group clearings and activations and the private session. Oh my God, you're a new being at the end of this course. Really.
Beautiful. And I just want to say that it doesn't matter where people join in the process, they can begin anywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like the Divine Mother, in that respect, is so gentle because she's just wanting to co-create your next step for you and with you. Not for you, sorry, with you. So she receives you wherever you are in a non-judgmental, very loving way, very compassionate way, saying, okay, where are you? What is your next goal? Where are you going? And this is what we need to do to clear, to pave the way forward and take it from here. So absolutely, you're all welcome.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for this. Again, the information for this is right here on this webpage, or it's in the link in the description box of wherever you're watching or listening to this program. Thank you for this offering, and thank you for this introduction course. We feel really good. We feel crystal clear and vibrant and excited.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at your background, my background. It's like, aren't you excited to be relocated to pure nature? I see all green around behind you, behind me. This is beautiful. And we were city people. But when we came here, we started craving for simplification. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how little we need to be joyful and happy, truly.
And the people that I meet here, I see their joy, and they don't have much.
Same here.
Right, there's not much, but there's still the joy. Yeah. And so really to shed the old paradigm of the way it is, and belief systems, and just to show up in an authentic, loving way with everybody is really refreshing. And I know that that is New Earth for everyone.
Absolutely. And now that you mentioned this, Loren, I'm finding, as I listened to you and I heard others who were moving to these new vortices, because there's not so much external structure. What these souls preserve is joy. Actually, where we are at, this city is called the City of God, they call it. It's called Samana, the City of God, within Dominican Republic. And again, there's a lot of, you would say, deprivation and need in certain, but the way that people approach it, like, it's such a generous civilization, happy, joyful beings. Sometimes they don't even have in certain areas electricity or hot water or lots of things, but they have their plantations and they have their organic, like food coming from the land itself. And there is like sisterhood and brotherhood. There's something, in the air. There's something that they got it, And then on the material level, there's a lot of survival mode going on. And there's a lot to be, of course, evolving here.
Right.
And there's a little bit of trash in the beaches, a little bit that is being taken care of. And there are challenges as everywhere. Like
Sure.
alcohol, like in hot places, alcohol sometimes gets wild. But it's like tiny things, but then it's heaven and the people are open. And every word they say is like, I'm here to serve you. When you say thank you, yes, of course, like I'm here to serve. And they mention God or Jesus in every sentence. And there's a spirit of collaboration. Maybe they don't have much to eat and they will give you their food if they have the opportunity, right? And there's a spirit of service. It's amazing. Yeah. So yes, we are honored to be here, actually.
Lovely. So thank you for this beautiful introduction course. We invite our participants to join, to check it out and feel into your heart. You'll know if it's for you. It really is exquisite. All the work that Gaitana and Yantal do is exquisite. I have to say, that word is divine exquisiteness, really.
Yeah, and joyful, like especially this one, Master Divine Precipitation. We are making it as joyful as we can so that you trust relocation, you trust the transition to the 5D, you're being guided to heaven. So trust that.
Trust that you are being guided to heaven.
Yeah.
And it is within you, it's you. Align with it. Thank you. A powerful tool to align with it. Thank you so much, Gaitana. As we say goodbye, any final thoughts?
Okay, let me check in for the collective, what might be relevant. Yes, I would say like the heaven codes are within. You can be seemingly disconnected from that, but you never lose touch with that. So if you can take a moment during the week and maybe be in nature with bare feet in a park or the beach or the mountains or just your little garden in your backyard, just ask your inner master to reactivate your heaven codes. They are there, you deserve that, it's a different timeline, but you have free will. You need to ask to reactivate that. It's not gonna happen otherwise, okay? So just trust that if you say, I'm ready to activate my heaven codes, they will be activated and you will be guided.
We are all saying that now. We are ready to activate our heaven codes.
Yeah.
So enjoy receiving the guidance, everyone. And thank you for your light and for taking this journey of motion and movement. Enjoy. Thank you.
Blessings from heaven. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.